So you have to serve people to the best of your ability, as you said when you are being swearing.
Okay.
As you are being sworn in, sorry. Yes,
It's
okay. As you are being
That's
sworn
a foreign language. Yeah, that is JJ.
As you are being sworn in, you have to promise people that you do the best of your abilities. So yeah, you have to show them that you're worth the whatever. And to me, it's useless coming up for a position and you don't work. That is why I never go for positions I know I will not work for.
Okay.
I will never stand and say I want this when I know I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just sit around. I'm going to receive a certificate at the end of the day. No. By the time I go for a position, I know I'm going to be committed to it. I know I'm going to work for it. I know I'm going to attend all the meetings, respond to all the inquiries as to that position, do whatever it needs to prove that indeed I was worth this position. And at least I know throughout my tenure, my term of office, those who reached out to me, at least I tried my best not to fail you. Even if I may not have given you the end result that you wanted, but at least I'm sure I tried to do something to help your situation.
Okay.
At least I'm sure I tried to do something to help your situation for all those that reached out to me. Most of those that had hostel issues, at least I tried to reach out to their custodians and try to get a solution.
Okay.
Much as some solutions weren't able to go through, but at least
you tried.
I tried. I did my best. For the House, for Parliament, I was there for almost all the sessions, all the guild government activities. I was present at almost all of them. I may not have been present at all, but I tried my best to be present at all the activities, respond to students, encourage people to go for these activities. You know, I tried my best.
Activities?
We had the guild run. We had the culture day. We had the International Students Week. We had the Health Week. We had the Justice Week. What else? We had Sports Gala.
Okay.
We had many activities. We had quite a number. At least I tried to be present for most of them. I tried to make an appearance for most of them and support the government. I was really committed to my work. I was passionate about my position. I loved my position. I loved all the roles and everything. Yes. And yeah, I think that was it. And I always stood by my
word.
And my principles and my virtues. If I say no to money that is passing behind, it is no.
Okay.
If I say this is not right, it is not right. You say it is right, we are going to fight, period.
Yeah, that's my God.
Period.
Hey, that's my cancer.
That is it.
So you go to court well knowing JJ has a cancer already.
So yes, that was it. One word to future leaders is stick to your principles, stick to your words, stick to your morals, stick to your ethics. If this is wrong, it is wrong. If it is right, it is right.
Okay.
Unless maybe it is a do or die situation, that is when you can compromise your morals. But if it is not, as long as something is wrong, it's wrong. Do not accept it.
Okay.
Always stand by your word. Even if you have someone bigger than you in ranking, but they are trying to bend you low to do something that is beyond, that is not in line with your principles, do not accept. Don't. It's not worth. At the end of the day, as I said, leadership is a calling from God, and therefore the person that you're supposed to account to is God.
Amen.
it is God. And by the time your term of office comes to an end, I believe one question you should ask yourself is, God, have I really done what you wanted me to do in this position? Have I manifested you in this position that you gave me? If you feel you are contented with what you did, and you believe that God is as well contented, then you have done your part. You should, then it makes you feel like you've really accounted to God. And the position he gave you was not just for giving you power and might, but rather to serve him.
Okay.
To serve him, just like he sent his son Jesus to serve us.
Okay.
Yes. As I told you, as a mama, so when you hear me speaking a lot of religion, a lot of Christianity, don't be shocked.
Mamas and papas, big up.
I know I'm a bit
God.
crazy, I'm outgoing and what, but yes, I love God. I love God so much, and I think he was my first step in every leadership, not necessarily position, but in every leadership step I took, like throughout my whole leadership, more so the one at campus. It's tricky, it's hard, it's a lot. It's a lot. You have your books, you have your parents, you have your relationship, you have it's a lot, and therefore if you don't put God at the center of it, you're going to go mad. You're going to lose it, you're going to go mad. I remember there are times I would sit down and break down and cry because I no longer know what to do. Everything is just too much for me. Yeah, like the times it would be too much for me.
Now you cry?
I cry. That's my only way of releasing pain and anger.
Because of what has happened, because you're not fulfilling your work, because of what?
Because nothing is working out. Like there's a time it would reach. Leadership is annoying because as you work with people, obviously you're going to conflict. You're going to conflict. So sometimes I would have conflict with my fellow leaders. I'm having conflicts somewhere
in class.
else. Exactly. Everything.
I
I
really understand. I understand your point.
Yeah, So whenever I would feel like that, I would just...
It's too heavy.
I would first sit back and cry. In summary, I choose myself first. I first sit and cry, get back to my senses. Bulungi. Now when I get back to my senses is when I now start thinking, this happened in leadership with my people. What am I going to do? This is what is wrong with my books. How am I going to attack this? This is what is disturbing my personal life. How am I going to do this? Like that.
So, do we have leaders in their position, but when they're like images, or it's impossible?
They're there.
Now, for them, they're just like, part of the cabinet, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Sad to say, but they're there. And
how do you cope up with such people?
That was not,
because I believe they don't want to be told.
That was not only in my regime, the previous regimes, the current regime, the regimes to come. Such people will always be there. Such people will always be there. They
just pull them to work in those positions, or it's...
Some people just want to build their CVs, but with nothing really to show that they did anything.
Because in my perspective, I feel like giving you a certificate without any skill being polished, I think it's like a waste of time. Because at the end of the day, you have to go and prove yourself to, maybe, if it is a position, maybe you're an MOP in the parliament, you have to prove your point of your skills.
Yeah, it is there, but as I said, not all of us are the same.
So in leadership, I don't know even how to bring it clearly. So when those loopholes be there, what you as a leader, what are you supposed to do? In case...
Work with those who are willing to work. Work with those who are willing to work. But I don't work with those who are willing to work, and you end up being the only one, and the whole situation breaks you. If it's beyond you now, leave it. You first sit down and ask yourself, can I handle this? Can I manage this burden that I have decided to take on? If it's too much for you, you're not the one in charge of it. Ofachi nesi.
Bagambe.
Bite.
Because at the end of the day, you're going to stress yourself, And then you're going to get the same certificate with others who have
Exactly.
not even struggled that a lot. And I think that's so...
Ngobita.
You do what you can.
Number one, you're saying the person has given up. Look for those who are willing to work. If those who are willing to work are there and they are able to make work move, work with them. If you find yourself the only one in that situation, you also let it go, because it's going to be a lot of pressure for yourself. And yet, before you are a leader, you are a student. That's why the title is student leader. You are a student before you are a leader.
Oh yeah.
And what does it mean to be a student leader? Your books come first.
Okay.
Student. You came for your degree. Your parents won't ask you for your certificates. You are what? No. They will want the degree first. That's why you're a student leader. Your books first, then you are a leader. So first handle your books. When you see the situation has stabilized, come back. Webegana mwana mubita. Don't stress yourself.
Ngababogerako the same thing.
As long as it is not your responsibility, don't kill yourself with it. But if it is your responsibility, then that is when the situation changes, because you signed up for this, and therefore it is your duty to do what you are supposed to do. And therefore, for you, I have no excuse. For you, you have to do what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to relax on your duty.
So a question: what if you are let me give an example. You are the MP of non-residents, and I'm just assuming there is a deputy of MOP non-residents, but then you are the deputy, and then your boss doesn't engage you in most of the activities. You as a deputy, what are you supposed to do?
One of the good qualities of a leader is communication, and one of the skills you learn is communication. You have to learn how to communicate with the people you are working with. If these people don't want to communicate with you, sometimes sit them down. Make them understand your point of view. You can't tell me in the whole term of office you will not get the time where you will sit down to talk. No. You'll always have that time where you will sit down with your boss and be like, boss, what's happening? What's going on? Personally, I had a boss because I was a deputy. Muhumuza Bright. We'd always have our time. We'd always have to sit and talk. At the beginning of our semester, we always had to get a time, just two of us, and come up with
the senior and the deputy.
And we come up with our resolutions for this semester. And towards the end, in the middle of the semester, we also had to talk. And at the end, we also had to talk. What have we done this semester? What haven't we done this semester? And in the middle of the semester, when anything happens, Bright, have you seen this? Alex, have you seen this? He would always inbox, text. We always had to find a way to communicate. And I think that's what made my working with him very easy. If you can communicate, everything is going to go on well with you too. Nothing will go wrong. As long as you communicate. So you have to learn how to communicate. Talk to them. If they fail to listen to you, get someone who's probably superior than you. For us, it is the dosa. She'll be like, if you're having issues with anyone, please, in your cabinet, please come to me and we resolve it in our office.
You don't go to guild?
No, you don't. Obviously, you try to look for, maybe, let me say, the speaker. If the speaker is unavailable, you can go to like the president. If the president is unavailable, you can go to the dosa. I'm just saying the dosa because she told us during one of our orientations that if you're having issues with anyone in the government and you feel none of you can resolve it, we go to her. We take it to her and we solve it in her office and we talk it out and we find
that was really nice.
Yes. So that would be another way out. You talk it out.
So you decided, like you have given it a try and it's working.
I can't have given it a try because the person I was working with was easy to work with.
Mama.
He knew how to communicate, I knew how to communicate. And in communication, you have to listen to each other. If I am talking, keep quiet. If you're talking, I will keep quiet. I will listen. But if you're talking, I'm talking, we're not going to reach an understanding. In fact, that's where we're going to conflict from.
Crash.
We are going to crash from there. Exactly. So you have to learn how to communicate, not just communicating. Because you may think communicating is just talking. But now what does it entail? By the time you communicate, someone must be able to listen and take in your message. And you must also be able to be listened to, and your message must have reached that person for you to say that you know how to communicate.
Oh,
yes.
That's a good one. So do we have leaders who are quarrelsome in the cabinet, like they pinpoint? No, we're just being general because most of the students think it's the cleaner way, like it's a walker way.
No.
Do it, or it's one like speaker or like president to pinpoint, I think you have not done this, and you do have the authority to go, like for example you have event, and or I'm just asking, and then you just go, for you, what have you done? For you, is it really okay? Is it really good? Or okay, what is your submission there?
This is a cabinet. This is a government. Not everyone will like you. You will not like everyone. There is always room for conflict.
Okay.
There's always room for conflict. We are all from different backgrounds. Some people who believe they can only be listened to when they are shouting, while they are yelling, and there's some people who believe in peace talks. Yes, so such people do exist. But how you handle them is, remember, at the end of the day, you're a government, and therefore all your achievements are going to be attributed to the government.
Yes.
So sometimes to those quarrelsome people, you should sit down and ask yourselves, is this really worth it? Is this really how I want my government to be labeled outside there? As a government that did not work, as a government that was always quarreling and pinpointing at each other. And as a government, you should learn to resolve your issues within yourselves. Do not let your issues go out. Do not. Once your issues go out there, that's the end of it.
Oh.
That's when everyone is going to start criticizing you. Everyone is going to say you're weak leaders and all that, because you cannot resolve issues. It's like just being in a marriage. No one knows that our parents fight. But they fight. They actually fight. They fight, but we never know they fight. Because should we know that they fight, we are going to end up taking sides.
Yeah.
Me, I'm on mommy's side. Me, I'm on daddy's side. And that is not good. That's going to lead to breaking of a family.
Yes.
And also traumatizing the kids. Yes.
Okay.
So by the time your issues come out as a government, ideally it means you fail to manage yourselves. And by the time you fail to manage yourselves, how are you going to manage
the entire?
It's something else.
That is really true.
But then also, when your things come out, how are you going to handle it?
Like information as...
You should always be a critical thinker, a problem solver. Let me say, you may have an issue. Yes, you failed to solve the issue. The issue has gone out. What are you going to do when the issue has gone out? Think of that as well.
Okay.
Don't enter just thinking, well, we are going to have an issue, we are going to resolve it. No. Politics is not a bed of roses, my love. It's not. So you have to think, if this happens, what are you going to do? Okay, if this one fails and this happens, what are you going to do? So when your bedroom matters are put out there, what are you going to do as a government? How are you going to resolve it? How are you going to now prove to the society that actually it's not because of these issues that we are failing to work? That's what you have to think about as a government as well. And when such things happen, I think you should just work on improvements. Learn on how to improve. Don't let other things go out. And as well, talk to each other, have meetings, have orientations, have ways of resolving your issues. Because I believe the more you talk, the more meetings you have, the lesser the problems.
Okay.
Because it's through these meetings that we get to be like, but you know what, you people, we are doing this wrong and this is happening. But when we don't talk, I sit on my anger there and sit on their anger there, and then one time just one bomb is thrown like this and everything explodes. So you have to learn how to talk to each other. You have to learn how to talk to each other.
And to respect one another.
Yes, and how to respect respect matters a lot.
Okay.
You have to learn to respect each other a lot. If you can't respect each other and you can't listen to each other, that's the end of it. That's where problems are going to start from.
Leadership. I see people here saying, I want to be this. I'm going for this. I have to do ABCD. I want to be this person. I'm going to become parliament of the next regime. And I look at them and I say, hey, you people, do you know what you and then meetings, there are some meetings do happen. How do you handle such? Because I heard that if you don't attend over how many meetings, they exclude you.
Yeah, those are things that can help with such people who are like perpetual, like those hard-headed people in the government. Those are simple punishments you can give them to make them relax or make them upgrade their game, their pull up their socks, things like that.
So if a person fails to attend several meetings,
they suspend them.
For how long?
They suspend you, and during your suspension, you're not supposed to receive your allowances.
And do you have to write to the EC when you're coming back?
When you're coming back, you step down from your current position.
To deputy?
No, you step down. You'll be like you're leaving that position.
What?
And mind you don't get a certificate for that position if you step down.
It is you liking it or the government telling you to do so?
That's how it is. By the time you come for a position, you're not supposed to be holding another position. Yeah. So you have to step down and be like, you're forfeiting, and then you're coming for this position.
And you have to work entirely.
Yeah, you start again, your campaigns and everything.
Yeah?
But if you're lucky and your government loved you for working, they'll give you a certificate. But if they didn't like you, you'll not get your certificate. Honestly.
Leadership. Why, Mama?
So it all depends on how you're relating with that government that you're living. If you're relating well with it, obviously they'll leave room and be like, but this person can't live without their certificate. Let's just give them.
How about these extras that they just appoint? They do give them certificates? Or?
Yeah, they are given. Everyone gets a certificate.
In the government, even if they have just appointed you?
Everyone gets a certificate. The difference comes at the award.
They have to give you awards of?
The awards go to a given category of people.
Who have been hardworking?
Yes. Those who are outstanding. That's where the difference comes, but everyone does get a certificate.
To your perspective, would you wish a student from law to go for the entire or to go for the law society as law? Because I've heard people saying when you're into society, you get, people get to know you, your lecturers, something like that. Even I heard from a certain university that I will not mention. I was talking to one of the leaders, and it was like the best thing of society. You become like you interact with your lecturers. They get to know you more than because you're working on the society entire. You're working part of the whole school, but then part of it. So you're in position to know who's the dean. You get kind of things. But when you're an MOP like non-resident, some of the time you don't get to know it is random, like it's the whole campus.
What I can say for that is, I think it all depends on an individual. What do I want? Do I want just my faculty or do I want the whole? It depends on me. If I feel I have the potential to run the whole campus, why don't I go? If I feel I have the potential for only my faculty, let me stick to my faculty. So I think it all depends on one's capability and potential. Yeah. It shouldn't limit you. It is on you to choose what can I handle, because it's useless for you to say you're going for guild, for a position in guild, and yet you can't even handle your own faculty.
Okay.
Let alone your faculty, your class. You failed. Even just take a group, they make you a group leader. You fail to handle a group. Now you want to go for faculty for the school. It doesn't make sense.
Alexa, you as a leader, would a leader be principled? And what are the principles you as a leader have to follow in terms of time, because most of the people, when they see a person who is very principled, they say that person has kajanja, that person shows off, that person, you get, they start pinpoint, they start talking rubbish about such people. You get someone's minding his or her business, and then other people feel like, it's not what they eat. They even sometimes they discriminate you because they feel like you're not supposed to be part of them.
Those are people who are not respected.
What do you mean not expected?
Respected.
Who are those? The people who are principled or the people who are not principled?
The people who are talky.
They are not respected. How?
People who are principled are given respect.
Oh. Like how?
If I have my principles, obviously, you'll know Alex is not in for, let me say, what's trending right now, the homosexuality. You'll know Alex is against this, that's her principle. She will never be a homo, and therefore you respect me for that decision. If I am a person who manages time, you'll be like, Alex is a timely person, and therefore I have to respect time when I am with her. If you know Alex is not into corruption, obviously you'll have to respect that, because you never know. I can't even tell Alex, you know what, walioka center kaze wanu kuona malege no kuniji. She cannot. So when you have your principles, you are respected. But when you don't have principles, people will never respect you. No, they'll never respect you. Now people who accept bribes, ideally, why would I respect them? Because I know I can buy them off with any amount of money. So I can't respect you if I know I just give you money and you'll do for me whatever I want. I can't respect you if I know you do not respect time, because time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money, and you can't waste my time. You can't waste my time, and unless you have a very serious reason. There's some reasons that are beyond my own making that I have to understand. But still, you have to inform me in time that, you know what, I'll be late because of this and this, and I'll respect you for that, for you communicating and telling me that I can't be there in time because of this. But if you keep quiet, my friend, to something else, I'll conclude that you don't respect time.
Oh yeah.
And probably when a chance comes and they tell me maybe to give in someone, I don't think I would consider you as a person that I'll give for that opportunity.
Okay.
Yes. So people with principles are respected. Those who don't have principles and are the ones who are not respected, and therefore they see no use to respect. They fear people who are principled because they don't know how to handle them.
Yeah,
they think all they are telling them is bad, it is rubbish. For us, we are young, we are wild and out. What? If my principle is when I go to the bar, I do not drink. That is my principle. And then you start, for you, you're just like a kid. What? Such people. And stay away from bad company. If someone does not respect your principles, then give them their space. Let them be. Align yourself with people who respect your principles. Have minds that think alike. Have people who have the same principles as you. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. So we are going into another section of how Alexa or even other leaders, how they manage relationship and what? And dating and leadership at the same time. Dating and relationship. That is our next part. That's the last, and that is the hot one, because me and dating, we are like this. So if you're there and you want to become a leader at the same time, you want to be into things of dating, stay around, because a lot is going to be said, and I know you're going to learn from the story that she's into dating, and by the way, she's performing well. She's in dating at the same time. She has been a leader just because she's in her 4th year. So there's no need of being a leader. Stay tuned. Coming back.